Hi, hello students, welcome to the English class. So today's lesson is from Flamingo book. The name of the lesson is Deep Water. The author of the lesson is William Douglas. So let me tell you about the author. William O. Douglas. He was born in USA. He was a leading advocate of individual rights. He was a judge at the Supreme Court of USA and he retired in 1975. 36 years he worked as a judge and remained the longest serving justice in the history of the court. His lifetime was 1898 to 1980. So in this story, Douglas talks about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it with strong willpower, courage, hard work and firm determination. Once he took courage, the fear vanished. That shows most of our fears are baseless. Fear creates dangers where there is none. The writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth, where there is a will, there is a way. Characters and places of this story. Douglas, the narrator of the story, YMCA pool. A swimming pool runs by Young Men's Christian Association. Yakima. Yakima is a US city located about 60 miles southeast of Mount Rainier in Washington. The writer William Douglas narrates his experience. 10 or 11-year-old when he had joined the YMCA swimming pool to learn swimming. He didn't go to the Yakima River to swim as it was considered dangerous. It shows that he had a bare fear of water. William's mother would warn him not to go near the Yakima River and would discuss the various incidents of drowning. He felt the pool at YMCA was safer. The shallow area of the pool was only 2 or 3 feet deep, while the deep area was 9 feet in depth. The slope from the shallow area to the deep area was not deep. He got a pair of wings to prevent drowning. He didn't like to wear the swimming costume, which exposed his thin legs, but as he was keen to swim, he gave up his self-respect and wore it. He always disliked water and he recounted an older experience when he was 3 or 4 years old. He went to the beach in California with his father. They stood as a wave leapt towards them. He stuck to his father, but the strong wave threw him down and he was covered in water. He was scared as he couldn't breathe. His father tried to make him feel comfortable, but he was scared when he realized that the waves were so powerful. The YMCA brought back his unpleasant memories and stilled childish fears. Then he gathered confidence by watching other boys swim and tried to copy them. He had done this twice or thrice at different occasions and started gaining confidence. One day he was all alone at the pool. So there was silence all over. He sat on the edge waiting for other boys to arrive. He was afraid to swim all alone in the pool. As the swimming pool was empty, he could see the bottom also. It had white colored tiles on it and looked white and clean like a bathtub. Around 18-year-old boy arrived when he was sitting alone. While William was sitting all alone in the pool, around 18-year-old boy arrived. He had well-built body with rippling muscles. He had a hairy chest, bulging muscles, and he seemed to be a bully. That 18-year-old boy picked William and threw him into the deep end of the pool. William landed on the surface of the pool in the same sitting position. It took a long time to reach the bottom of the pool, and it seemed 90 feet instead of 9 feet. William couldn't hold his breath and felt as if his lungs would burst. When his feet touched the bottom of the pool, he gathered all his strength and jumped upwards. He thought that the next moment he would come out of the pool, but the opposite happened. His upward movement was slow, and when he opened his eyes, he saw water all around, which was yellowing in color. William got scared and tried to grab something, a rope which would help him reach the edge of the pool, but he couldn't get anything other than water. William was at a loss of breath and tried to scream for help, but no sound came out of his mouth. His nose and eyes came out of the water, but his mouth remained in it. He waved his hands at the surface of the water for help, but he swallowed water and choked himself. He couldn't breathe. He tried to pull his legs up, but they were very heavy and lifeless. William tried to pull his legs up, but they were very heavy and lifeless. He felt something was pulling him towards the depth of the pool. He screamed, but his voice did not go out of the water. Once again, he started going down towards the bottom of the pool. William tried to save himself from drowning in the pool and tried to grab something. But as there was full of water, he couldn't do so. He felt pain in his lungs and his head felt a sensation of beating. He was getting unconscious, but he could recollect the plan to save himself as his feet touched the bottom. He would take a leap and jump up to the surface in a jiffy. That means like a cork to the surface. He would lie on his back. He hit the strokes with his limbs and reached the edge of the pool to safety. William sank into the pool and the journey downwards seemed endless. Water was all around. He opened his eyes. It had yellowish glow, but he couldn't see through it. This terrorized William. He was scared. He was frightened. He said his feelings couldn't be explained, but it could only understood by those who had experienced a similar situation. He was screaming in the water. He was unable to move due to the fear. Only his heartbeat and the beating in his head indicated that he was alive. In between the stage of terror, again he recollected the plan to take a jump as he touched the bottom of the pool. He used all his strength and jumped up. His effort went in useless. He still submerged. He went downwards in the water. He looked around for help, any ladder or water wing, but a chunk of yellow water, a large mass of yellow water grabbed him. The terror grew intense, like an electric shock that ran through the whole body. He trembled with fright. He could neither move his limbs nor to call for help. Something strange happened. William saw light. His eyes came out of the water. His nose was almost out of it. He started going downwards into the pool for the third time. He tried to breathe, but he gulped water instead. He swallowed water instead. The light went out as he drowned again. Then he stopped making efforts to save himself. Now William relaxed. His legs became lifeless and his brain experienced a blackout. He couldn't experience anything. The fear ended. He did not panic. He didn't have any confuse. He became quiet and he experienced peace. He felt sleepy. and he was trying to jump up, he felt nice to be carried in his mother's arms as he felt sleepy. Now William became unconscious and he moved towards death. William became unconscious and he moved towards death. When William gained conscious, he was lying on his stomach beside the pool and he was vomiting. He heard someone scolding the boy who pushed him into the pool. The boy told that he had been fooled with him. The boy was asked to carry William to the locker room. William had almost died. Then, after many hours, William walked home. He felt weak and shivered. He trembled. He kept on crying and he was unable to eat food. He had the fear for many days. This incident made him physically upset. His knees were unable to bear his weight and he would feel like vomiting. William did not go to the swimming pool as he feared the water, and he remained away from water. So after the pool incident, William remained away from water. After some years, William came to know of a waterfall and he wanted to go in it. Whenever he went for swimming in different rivers like the Titan, Bumping River, warm lake of Goat Rocks, the fear of water returned. So after the pool incident, sometimes he went for swimming to these rivers. Whenever he went for swimming, the fear of water returned. On the boating trips to different lakes in the main region, New Hampshire, Deschutes, Metolius, Columbia, Bumping Lake. Then he fished different varieties of fish. He fished, the name of the fish were salmon, bass and trout. But the fear followed him. His fishing trips were destroyed as he did not enjoy boating and swimming due to the fear. So finally, in the month of October, William hired an instructor to teach him swimming. He would practice for an hour each day, 5 days a week. William described the learning process. So now William was going to describe the learning process, how he learned swimming. So the instructor put a belt around William's waist. The belt was attached to a thick rope. The rope went through an overhead pulley and was held by the instructor. It ensured that in case William drowned, the instructor would pull him out. William swam across the length of the pool for several weeks. For several weeks, William swam across the length of the pool. So whenever the instructor loosened the rope, he went down into the water and the fear would return. It would prevent his legs to move. After 3 months of practice, William got comfortable. The instructor taught him to breathe in the water. Then the instructor taught him to put his face under the water and exhale his breath. William was taught to raise his nose out of the water and inhale. William practiced several times. Gradually, he got rid of the panic that would grab him when he put his head under the water. In the third stage of the learning process, the instructor taught William to kick the water surface with his legs. He did this for several weeks. Initially, his legs did not move, but gradually they relaxed and finally he could order them to kick in the desired way. Finally, the instructor made a swimmer out of William. When William had perfected each phase, each stage, he compiled them. In the month of April, the instructor told William that he could swim. The instructor asked William to dive into the pool and swim the length of the pool in a particular style called the crawl stroke. William swam and the classes came to an end. Now William had not overcome the fear yet. Still William had fear. He wondered if the terror would grab him when he would be alone in the water. He tried to swim alone in the pool. The terror returned in small phases, but now, as he knew how to swim, he faced the terror with confidence. He swam another length of the pool. So William swam like this till the month of July, but was not satisfied. So still he was not satisfied. So he wanted to be sure that all of the fear had left him. So he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire and he dived into it from Triggs Island and swam for 2 miles up to the Stamp Act Island. So he dived into the lake, and from Triggs Island he swam 2 miles up to Stamp Act Island. He swam in different styles: crawl, breaststroke, side stroke and backstroke. The terror returned only once when he was in the middle of the lake. When he put his head under water, he saw water all around and the fear returned. This time, William laughed at the terror and said to it that it couldn't harm him. He saw that the terror vanished and he resumed swimming. William still had some doubt about the fear, so he hurried towards the western direction. He went up the Titan and he reached Conrad Meadows and he walked up the Conrad Creek Trail. Creek means it is a narrow piece of water. It's a trail, it's a track. So he walked up the Conrad Creek Trail to Mead Glacier. He camped at the meadow by the warm lake. So the next morning, he wore the swimming costume and he dived into the lake. Then he swam across it to the other end and he returned just like the American dog corporal used to do. So he swam like a swimmer named the American dog corporal. He was a swimmer. So like him, William swam from one end to the other end. Now William shouted with joy as he had overcome his fear. His voice filled as the mountain peak named Gilbert Peak echoed it. He had overcome the fear. He shouted with joy. His voice filled as the mountain peak echoed it. So the experience had a great importance in William's life. So this experience had a great importance in William's life. So he realized that death was peaceful and only the fear of death was fearful. He recollected the words of one of the presidents of America, Roosevelt. So Roosevelt said that all we have to fear is fear itself. As William had experienced death, and the fear of death, his desire to live grew immensely. He felt released from fear and he was free to walk up the trails and climb up the mountains fearlessly. So let's recall the summary of the story. Here the story Deep Waters, it tells us how the writer overcame his fear of water and learned swimming with sheer determination and willpower. He had developed a terror of water since childhood. When he was 3 or 4 years old, the writer had gone to California with his father. One day on the beach, the waves knocked the child down and swept over him. The child was terrified, but the father, who knew there was no harm, laughed. So this became a permanent fear of water in the child's subconscious mind. Still another incident, more serious, increased his terror. The writer was trying to learn swimming in the YMCA swimming pool in Yakima. One day while he was waiting for other boys, a big boy suddenly played a dangerous prank and pushed him into the water. The writer was terribly frightened. He went down 9 feet into the water. His lungs were full of unreleased air. When he reached the bottom, he jumped upward with all his strength. He came up, but very slowly. He tried to catch hold of something like a rope, but grasped only at water. He tried to shout, but no sound came out. He went down again. His lungs ached, head throbbed, and he grew dizzy. He felt paralyzed with fear. All his limbs were paralyzed. Only the movement of his heart told him that he was alive. Again he tried to jump up, but this time his limbs would not move at all. He looked for ropes, ladders and water wings, but all in vain. Then he went down again the third time. This time all efforts and fear ceased. He was moving towards peaceful death. The writer was in peace. When he came to consciousness, he found himself lying on the side of the pool with the other boys nearby. The terror that he had experienced in the pool never left him. It haunted him for years and years to come. It spoiled many of his expeditions of canoeing, swimming and fishing. It spoiled his pleasures in Maine Lakes, New Hampshire, Deserts, Columbia and Bumping Lake, etc. But the writer was determined to conquer his terror. He took help of a swimming instructor to learn swimming. The instructor taught him various actions necessary in swimming part by part. He put his face under water and exhaled and inhaled, raising it above water. He practiced it for several weeks. He had to kick with his legs a few weeks on the side of the pool. At last, he combined all these actions and made the writer swim. He learned swimming, but the terror continued. So, deep goes our childhood experiences. So, fearful is the fear of fear. Whenever he was in water, the terror returned. Henceforward, the writer tried to terrorize terror itself. He tried to face the new challenge. So he plunged into the water as if to defy the fear. Once he took courage, the terror vanquished. He faced the challenge deliberately in various places like the warm lake. He conquered it at last. The experiences of the writer throw some important lights on certain aspects of life. So experiences of pain or pleasure in childhood remain in the subconscious mind and influence our feelings later too. The fear of water acted on the writer in that way. Even after being an expert in swimming, the writer felt terror. There was no reason at all. Once he took courage, the fear vanished. That shows most of our fears are baseless. So fear creates dangers where there is none. So the writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth, where there is a will, there is a way. Here the theme of the lesson is, so here William Douglas talks about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it by his courage, determination, hard work, strong willpower, perseverance and the desire to learn. So by this he overcame from his fear. So if these are practiced, we can definitely achieve success in all our endeavors. So the message we get from this lesson is, it is not death but the fear of death that creates terror in our mind. So that fear needs to be shaken off. Also, any fears can be conquered if we tried hard enough. So children, hope you have understood this lesson. Thank you children.